Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice spring evening. Tonight we got the honor and privilege to have Hubert Senters with us. And Hubert and I work fairly close together, or well together, because he's got kind of the same philosophy as myself. That if you find something good, learn it and make it your own. Don't depend on somebody else. Tonight he's going to give us 5 secret signals that help you find better trades. So with that, Hubert, we're anxious to see what they are, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. All right, so I have a love-hate relationship with Omnovia and GoToWebinar and all of them. Sometimes I just hit the wrong button, so I just want to make sure that everything is working right because, you know, technology is technology, right? Sometimes you just mess it up. Most of the time, it's usually human error on my part and nothing wrong with the technology. So if you can see the slide that says webinar start time 8 p.m., just tell me you can see the slide, and if you can hear me, say you can hear me, obviously. Now, I use a little thing that wraps on all the charts just because I'm really a visual learner. So if you could also do me a solid and just answer this question right here on the screen that I'm actually drawing, and just answer this question, this will tell me that what I need to convey. Mic is a little muffled. That's kind of weird. So usually my mic is pretty solid. Is anybody else having mic issues? Because if it's only one person, it's not a big deal. But if it's 110, it's going to be an issue. All right. So it looks like everything's good. All right. Cool. Okay. Let's get started. So tonight we're going to have a lot of fun. Obviously, the markets are closed right for tomorrow. So I'm going to remove the ink here, and I'm going to get started. So as far as I know, everything will be recorded, and you're good to go. So here we go. So first, I have to do a warning. I am a registered Series 3 and a Series 30, which just means that I have to put a large sum of money in a bank account and never touch it because I clear a lot of my own trades. I can also clear retail because I'm a futures broker. I choose usually not to do that unless people just aggravate the heck out of me and say, hey, can you clear my trades? So that required me to be a Series 3 and a Series 30, and I just have to disclaim the crap out of things because I never want a fine by the CFTC or the NFA. Usually what I do is I just try to scare people off of trading, right? So I'm going to do a decent job right here from the get-go and try to scare you off of trading. Now, I love trading. I love investing. It's not for everybody. The results that I get are probably not typical of what everybody else is going to get. You're going to have to put in some good old-fashioned hard work, sweat, tears, and some of this stuff that I'm going to talk about is hypothetical and simulated, and then we'll talk about some live trades as we go through there too, okay? So trading is probably going to end up, the only guarantee I can give you in trading and in life in general is, number one, there are no guarantees, and number two, I can guarantee that you're probably going to lose a large, substantial amount of income trying to figure out this thing we call trading, right? Now, I like to go one step further and go, it's probably going to end like a bad country song. You're going to lose your house, your dog, your vehicle, your wife's going to hate you, and so is your kids. So if everybody understands the disclaimer, I'm going to move forward here, and hopefully you understand what I'm talking about there. Now, we're going to move on. My name is Hubert Senters. This is my no BS approach to trading and investing. And what I'm going to show you, now that I've scared you to death a little bit, I want to tell you a couple of my personal beliefs. I have a personal belief that you should be able to get around other people that are, number one, successful, wealthy, driven, and pretty much are just no BS type of stuff. So if you get around other successful, wealthy, and driven people, a lot of times you can either pay them for advice, or you can hire them for advice, or they'll hire you. Everybody on this little collage of photos I either work with or advise in some capacity, or I've given to their charity to have lunch with them and stuff like that. Most of them I know pretty good. I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you that if a hillbilly from Kentucky can do this, you can do this too, whether it's business, trading, investing, or anything that you aspire to be and do. So congratulations, you are in the right place at the right time, and here is why. So I usually tell stories why I do this, but I know we're all anxious because there's no trading tomorrow. So I'm going to go a little light on the stories, and I'm going to go heavy on the content, which means I'm just going to hit you really, really with some really, really quality information. So how to take your trading to the next level. So if you are a candlestick fan, you're going to love this. You now have a new opportunity to take your trading to the next level. So I don't know what you trade. So if it would be helpful to me to let me know, do you trade stocks, options, futures, forex, currencies? What? Just tell me. Just give it to me what all you trade like. For me, I trade everything. If I could make money trading Tic Tacs or toothpicks, I would do it. And then also, it's really helpful for me now. Obviously, you're a huge fan of Stephen Bigelow, the candlestick guru to the gurus, right? So you got to be into candlesticks, right? Is there anyone here that is not into candlesticks? I don't think, does anybody even use bar charts anymore? Everybody just uses the default candlesticks, right? That's because they're a great tool to use. Now, I'm going to show you some cool stuff that can complement what you do in both stocks, options, futures, forex, gold, bonds, and it's going to be with the use and combination of candlesticks, okay? So you're really going to like it. If you're a candlestick fan, you're really, really going to love this. So what does this work on? So the strategy that I'm going to show you is going to work on stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, gold, and commodities. Now, gold is a commodity, and so is some of the other things I listed there. But it's going to work across the board. Now, does it work on everything? No, nothing works on everything, right? Okay, so let's move into the fun part of this. It's going to be a little bit different, but in a good way. Milk, you know what? I've never traded milk. I've actually never traded milk or butter. Bitcoin, I've never traded it with Bitcoin, so that's a good question. So I'm going to say no on the Bitcoin. I'm going to say no on the milk, and I'm going to say no on the butter. So those are three markets that I don't know if it works on or not. Good questions, though. All right, so we're going to go to the next slide. So these are the back-tested results. Puppies, that's funny. These are the back-tested results on the S&P 500 over the last 5 years. In the stocks, in the indexes, it worked on 430 out of 500. So notice how I said earlier, I said, look, it works on almost everything, but not everything. So out of 500, it only worked on 430. That's just terrible. That means it was an 86%. It worked on 86% of the S&P 500 equities, all right? Now, if you do the signals where you take, when it gives you a long signal, if you go long, and if it gives you a short signal, you go short. If you do every signal that it recommends that you take, then on the back testing, it would have paid you out at 33%, okay? That's not a bad return. Now, if you use a 3-day confirmation filter that I'm going to teach you with this, and you only take the signals in the overall prevailing trend, you can still, believe it or not, you can take the long or the short, but if you just use this one little trick, this one little filter, you're going to increase your payout from 33% to 79%. So that's a pretty good payout. And that's across all of the stocks in the S&P 500. I need to asterisk that because it's out of 430 stocks out of 500, which would be 86% of the stocks, right? So that's not too bad. So let's take a look at what this actually does. Now, you're probably asking, does it work on, and that's going to apply across the market. Now, it's been profitable on 29 currencies over the past 10 years. That's a pretty good haul, okay? Now, that's using this methodology where it's a daily, hourly, and then 10 minutes. So that's D, 60, 10. And what I'm going to do at the end of this webinar, I'm going to pull up some charts, and we're going to go through chart after chart after chart after chart after chart. And I'm going to show you how well this works. And it really, really, really complements candlesticks, okay? It's meant to be used with candlesticks. All right, so time frame selection. So this is one of, if not the most important slide in the entire presentation. So whip out a piece of paper, and I want to show you how this works. So first, you have to figure out your time horizon. You have to figure out if you are a day trader. And if you're a day trader, are you going to be trading for minutes or hours? And then if you're going to be a swing trader, in other words, are you going to be in trade for days, weeks, months, or years? So I want to show you a couple of examples. So if I am a swing trader and I'm going to be in it for a few days, let's say anywhere from 3 days to 21 days. Okay, now I'm just using that arbitrary number, but more than 2 or 3 days. Then the signal time frame that I'm going to use on this technology is going to be a 60-minute time frame. And what that means is if I get an hourly signal, then I know it's going to bounce for 3 to 5 days. Does that make sense? I want to make sure. So let's focus on this column. I'm a short-term trend trader, swing trader. I know that I want to be in my time horizon that I want to hold for is days. And then I'm going to take my signal off of the hourly chart, and then I know I'm going to have at least 3 days of bounce or 3 days of sell-off. Now, let's say that I am a day trader, and I'm going to be in it for hours. Then I'm going to use a 5 or a 10-minute chart, and as soon as I get my signal, I know I'm good for 2 to 4 minutes of run. Any questions on this chart? I'll give you a couple seconds to look at it, but does it make sense? Any questions? I just make sure, because if I mess you up here, it's going to screw you up for the rest of the presentation. I just want to make sure I have no questions at all. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Yeah, minutes or hours. So, all right, if it's minutes, then I'm going to be looking at a 1 minute or a tick chart, and it's going to be good for 30 minutes probably. So 2 to 4 hours. In other words, when I get a 10-minute buy signal, when I get a confirmation on a 10-minute buy signal, then it should run for the next 2 to 4 hours, is what that means. Why 3 to 21? I just made that up. That could be anything. The sweet spot that I like to trade is 3 days to 21 days on my swing trades. So, yeah. All right, so I'll go over it one more time. I'm going to erase the ink and just put a nail in this coffin. So this is short term. This is days, so more than 3 days or more than 2 days. I'm going to take a signal on a 60-minute chart, and if I get a buy signal on a 60-minute chart, then I know it's going to bounce for at least 3 days, and it may do it for 3 to 5 days is what I'm finding. If I get a sell signal on a 60-minute chart, then I know it's going to sell off for me for 3 to 5 days. Same thing for the very short term. If I want to be in the trade for hours at a time, I'm going to use either the 5-minute or the 10-minute, and then I know it's going to go in my direction for the next 2 to 4 hours is the assumption. All right. Now, this is what you want. It is the #1 technique used in Japan. Where do Japanese, well, this is a loaded question, right? Where do Japanese candlestick charts come from? Last time I checked, Japan, right? So it is the #1 technique used in Japan. You're going to know exactly what's happening in seconds. As soon as you look at the chart, you will immediately know what the trend is and what buy and sell signals that you need to do to take advantage of the market. These are designed to produce very clear signals. You're going to want to use candlesticks with them to complement your work and not just blindly take them when they say buy and sell, but use the candlestick combinations and reversal signals for those. That's going to make you a lot better off. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you're looking at here, okay? So it's Ichimoku, Ichimoku, Ichimoku. Now, I'm not sneezing. That's just how you pronounce it. Now, what I've done is I've assembled all of the literature on Ichimoku, and I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to give you a Ichimoku cloud charting basics course tonight, okay? Who in here is a huge fan of Ichimoku? Anybody? Do we got any fans of Ichimoku? You should be. If you guys are candlestick guys, you got to be. All right? Yeah, so got a lot of Ichimoku devotees in here. Very nice, very nice. So who in here say no if you've never heard of Ichimoku? Give me a no if you've never heard of Ichimoku. See how many people no. So there's a lot of people who don't even know what Ichimoku are. All right. So if you're a candlestick guy, you should be using these two things together. They're like chocolate and peanut butter. They go together perfectly. So when you look at this chart, what's the first thing that goes through your mind? The first thing that I saw or said when I look at an Ichimoku chart was I was like, dear Lord, that's ugly. It's like spaghetti soup, right? I'm like, man, there's a lot going on there. What am I supposed to pay attention to? I can barely see the price, okay? So I'm going to break down and give you, a basic primer on Ichimoku. I'm going to give you enough information to make you dangerous. So the first thing, when you're looking at Ichimoku, there's a rule that you need to live by. If your price action is above the cloud, you're bullish. Okay? Do you see the price action here in Apple where it's above the cloud? Don't pay attention to the color of the cloud yet. Do you see here where this price action right here is above the cloud? And this is the cloud. There's the red cloud. Here's the blue cloud. See how it just it looks like an envelope. Looks like an envelope of moving averages, right? It's not. Now notice when it broke below the cloud, now the price action is below the cloud, and as long as it stays below the cloud, that means you're bearish. And it means you're going to focus on the bearish side of things. So that's the number one thing that you want to focus on, is what I'm trading, the price action, is it above the cloud or below the cloud? If it's above the cloud, I'm bullish and the support will be the cloud. If I'm below the cloud, I'm bearish and the resistance will be the cloud. So I will answer all questions at the end if you don't mind. That way I'll get through all of these slides and hopefully it'll be answered in the presentation, and then I'll go through live charts. I won't dodge not one question though. So let's go through this. One of the best signals, so this is what it looks like. This is called the turning line. So what I want to do is I want to first show you how all of these things on the charts come to be. Can everyone see this little red line right here that I'm pointing to? See this right here? And this is an old chart, but it's good for example. This is what we call the turning line. So on the turning line here, it's the line that's the closest to the price action. So I'm pointing to it right here, and I'm pointing to the little red line here. The turning line is the line that is always the closest to the price action. The turning line is the midpoint calculation where you take the high and so let's show you what that looks like. So number one, here's day 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got that? And then you take the low, and then you take the high, then you add those two together. You take this right here, there's your high, here's your low, you add them together, and then you divide it by 2, and that's going to give you 450.07. And you can see that little red line. You see its little numeric number over here. Understand how you calculate that. I'm a guy that I don't have to know how things are calculated, but I know some folks think it's really, really important, so I like to show it. And I figure if you understand something, if you can teach it, then you're really, really better at it anyway. So that's how you get this little turning line. It's a 9-period midpoint average. It's not a moving average. It's not a moving average at all. But a lot of people will tell you it's a 9-period moving average. It's not. It's a 9-day midpoint average because of the way it's calculated. All right. So let's talk about the standard line. The standard line is the second closest line. And if you want to think of it, an easier way to think about it is the turning line is the fast line, the standard line is the medium line, and the lagging line is the slow line. So the standard line is the midpoint of the high and the low of the last 26 sessions, period, moving average. It is not. It is not. What you're going to do is you're going to take the high and the low of the last 26 bars. You're then going to divide it by 2. That number is going to be your midpoint, okay? And that's going to be your standard line. So let's take a look at the standard line. So the standard line is this green line right here. I'm going to just do S here. And that's your standard line right there. So let's walk through how we calculate this thing. So the standard line is this little green line, and you can see the numerical value is 425.42. What you do is you start, this is day 26, the current day, and you count back all the way to 26 days, right? So here's day 1, here's day 26. Take the high, you add those two together, and you divide those by 2. Okay, so you got the high and the low of the previous 26 days. You add them together, divide them by 2, and you get 425.42. Any questions how that one is calculated? It should be crystal clear, right? Nice and simple and easy. The reason I teach in this fashion is because I'm dyslexic. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, the sharpest axe in the shed. And I break things down that are so simple to understand that if I can understand them, anybody can understand them. All right, so let's go through Cloud Span A. Here's where we get a little bit confusing, but not too bad. Cloud Span A is the midpoint of the turning line, and the standard line shifted 26 bars forward. So just remember, it's shifting it 26 bars in the future. So here, number one, I don't know of any indicator that does what Ichimoku does. It gives you the past, the present, and it also gives you the future of support and resistance. So I want to back up just a few slides, or just one slide here and show you that. So this blue line is the past. The current price action, which is right here, is the present, and the future is right here telling you where support and resistance is. So it's really important. It's the only indicator in the world that I know that does this. So let's go through cloud span A. So what it's doing is it's going to take does anybody remember what the red line was called? What's it called? The red line is called it's the closest one to the cross section. It's called the turning line, right? And the green line is called the standard line, okay? Yeah, you can just go fast or medium. That's a good way of thinking of it too. What you're going to do is you're going to take the midpoint between those two, okay, the midpoint, and you're going to shift it 26 periods to the right. That's going to give you the top of that cloud, right? You can do it the same way here. You can go boom, boom, shift it 26. All right? There you go. Now the cloud turned up on this side of the situation. Standard line is a moving average. It is not a moving average. It is a midpoint. It is a midpoint average. It is not a moving average, I promise you. All right, so let's go through cloud span B. The midpoint of the high and the low of the past 52 sessions shifted. So here's what this looks like. So here is day one. Here is the last 52. And then what it's doing is it's taking the midpoint of that and it's shifting it in the future. So now you've got, that's cloud span B. Now if we go to the next slide, we can now see how we're getting this overall resistance area. Number one, we've got the turning line, we've got the standard line, we've got the midpoint shifted to the right, and then we take day 20, day 1, day 56, right? And then we take the midpoint and we shift this to that side. It's a little confusing. Really, all you have to think about is that's your overhead resistance. All right, let's talk about the lagging line. The lagging line is the past. The lagging line is the price action close shifted 26 bars, okay? All that means is this little blue line right here. You see this blue line right here? The price action, it's shifted back. That's that blue line right there. So that's always going to be your lagging or your confirmation line. It's the slow line. So if you think about it like this, red is fast, the green is medium, and then the blue is slow. It's a really easy way to think about it so you can kind of conceptualize the theory of the thing. All right. So this is how this works. So this is the current day, and then you go back 26 bars. You shift the line back 26 bars, and that is going to be your lagging line. All right, so let's go through some signals. Is everybody comfortable or reasonably comfortable with how we're calculating the lines? Remember, they're not moving averages. They're midpoint. They're midpoint averages, not moving averages, midpoint averages. All right, so Ichimoku cloud signals. When the lagging line crosses the cloud is your strongest, best signal you can possibly take. It's also the slowest, okay? You got to wait forever for the daggone thing to happen. All right, when the price closes above the cloud is so this is the number one signal. This is number two. When the price closes above the cloud is a really good signal. It's a little bit more aggressive. When the price and the lagging line touch the cloud is also a buy and sell signal. When the cloud spans cross, that's an indication. And when the turning lines and the standard line cross. So let's go through to the next series of pictures. All right. Does everyone see the slide that says price crosses the cloud? So this is Apple. This is an older picture of Apple. We're going to do a lot of live charts as I get known. Do you notice when Apple crossed below the cloud, notice how long it took to get back above the cloud? Second most popular signal that you can take, and it's the second strongest. And once Apple drops below this blue cloud, which is support, we are forced to be bearish Apple. No matter what we think of the company, Apple is going to go lower. And then what you can use is you can use the standard line or the turning lines, either one of those as entries off of those signals. And I'll teach you some of those in just a second. So number one thing you want to look for is when the price action closes above or below the cloud. So on this situation, we almost have Apple ready to go back above the cloud, right? And if it goes back above the cloud, then we could get long again. So that is when the price crosses the cloud. Now, there's a couple other signals that you can take is when the lagging line and, I think I skipped a signal for you. Hold on. Oh, here. This is the number one signal. Number one signal is when this blue lagging line crosses the cloud. This is the number one strongest signal that you can take. And this is on a daily time frame for me. So on that situation, it is the best signal to take. I skipped that one, I'm sorry. So if we go through the lagging line, which is the super slow line, right? That's the first signal. The second signal is going to be where we, well, a little pointing thing messed up on me again tonight. Very odd how that happens. So the second signal here is going to be when the cloud or the cross section goes back below the cross section. So here we go. Lagging line below, super slow, the best confirmation. It's going to happen last. This one's going to happen first. And then you can see how well Apple went below it. So right now, in this example, we almost have Apple above the cloud, not quite. The lagging line is still below the cloud. So until the lagging line goes back up above the cloud, I would stay short some Apple in this example. All right, let's take a look here at the price crossing the cloud. When the price crosses the cloud, we get a nice little short here on Apple. We stay short until we get on the north or upper side of the cloud. Good little trade setup if you take it, right? I mean, you'd be short around 630, 640, and then you'd be covering around 480. That's a pretty good trade right there. Now notice, it did not get you the dead high, and it did not get you the dead low, right? But what it got is it got you the meat in the middle, which you can make a good living off the meat in the middle. All right, so let's go to a couple of other signals. Number 3 signal is where you can have the price action touches the cloud. I want to short there because that's resistance. And when the lagging line touches the bottom of the cloud, I want to short there, that's resistance. In other words, I want to stay committed to this short until I get at least 3 candlesticks, at least 3, above this cloud. If I don't have at least 3 above that, then this is still going to be a short with my rule set. I can have the lagging line cross the cloud with me. That'll give me a confirmation like, hey, the entire trend has changed. You might as well go ahead and get long. Now, notice over here to the far right, we've got a little bit of a blue cloud that's telling us like, hey, this thing may actually cross. Well, that's fine because we're short from here. So, and if we're short and we just did our job and started covering some down here, and then boom, right here, it's still a really, really good trade. All right. Now, notice if you want to be a little bit faster on the trigger, you may not want to stay in these things that long. What you can do is you still have a major move above the cloud, okay? You're in bullish support here. When you see the red line, when you see the price crossing the red and the green line, the fast and the mid and the medium, or the turning and the standard line, when they, number one, if they cross, or when the price action crosses, then they tend to go back all the way down to the top of the cloud, right? If the price action crosses the two, boom, it's going to go to the top of the cloud. And you can also do it with basically how you would do a moving average crossover, where you can see that this is a bearish signal right here. This is a short. Then what you're going to do is you're going to let the midpoint of the standard and the turning line cross up on each other. And then when they cross back down on each other, you would be short again here. And it happened again right here. And it happened again on this side of things. So when there's 2 other signals, when the price crosses the standard and the turning lines and the standard lines, and or if those 2 lines cross, those are also 2 really good signals. So let's talk about some bullish signals. Price above the cloud is bullish. Prices in the cloud are bullish if they came from the same side as the bullish side. The lagging line crossing the cloud is the main signal of the trend change. The lagging line, that's that slow blue line. Prices crossing the cloud is an earlier but less reliable warning of a trend change. And then prices and the lagging line will often find support at the cloud's edges. That's why you always want to buy and sell those support and resistance areas. Cloud spans crossing may be a sign that there is a change in trend. It's not positive. And be on the lookout for thick clouds after a run-up, which could mean a trend change. All right, so let's go through some of these bullish signals. There is, all right, bearish signals. Bearish signals, when the price is below the cloud, it's bearish. When the price is in the cloud, are bearish if they come from the bearish side. The lagging line crosses the cloud is the main signal of the trend. And when the price crosses the cloud, it is an earlier but less reliable warning trend change. And then when the price and the lagging line often find support or resistance at the cloud edges. And the cloud spans crossing may be a sign that the trend is changing. And also be on the lookout for thick and thin clouds. Let's take a look at a few examples here. Now, number one, the following is back-tested results, what I just showed you earlier. Here's the disclaimer. The S&P 500, 430 out of 500, 86%, 33% if you took every signal, 79% if you remove the counter trend signals and wait for a 3-day confirmation. And you also had profitable across 29 currencies over the past 10 years. I already showed you this chart, so be on the lookout for the time frame. So let's go and do some actual live charting. Is everybody cool with some live charting? I'll do some of that with you. I will tell you that my favorite time frame tends to be daily, hourly, 10-minute. Daily, hourly, 10-minute. There's also some really good stuff that you can use for trailing stop. In my opinion, based upon my study, back testing, forward testing, sideways testing, and using my own cash, a parabolic SAR is a great stop. That's a great trailing mechanism. You can use the bottom of the cloud if you're long and the top of the cloud if you're short. So let's take a look at some live charts, right? Because we're traders. Let's trade. So I'm going to discard that. I'm going to come up here, and you should have, hold on, let me shrink this. There we go. Can everybody see my chart where I've got daily 60-10? So for the purposes of, I'll shrink this down a little bit so you can see everything, okay? So no secret here, I trade a lot of bonds, okay? I'm a huge bond trader. In this case scenario, what you can see, now you may be able to see, let me remove my parabolic SAR here because I want to show you guys. Format analysis technique, let me take the parabolic SAR off. I'm going to clean my chart up a little bit. Does everybody notice the little red dots on my candlesticks? Now, this is my way of indicating a candlestick formation, right? Because I know this is a shooting star, an evening star, a bearish doji, right? So I'm a huge candlestick guy. I love him. I'm a huge fan of Bigelow's work. He's a great guy. So you can see here that I am above the cloud, right? I am above the cloud here. Let me hit Camtasia here, and I can record this, and I can draw on the screen at the same time. Let me just hit this real quick. Full screen, and hit record. I think I should be able to draw on the screen for you. Hold on just a second. There we go. All right. So does everyone see, you see this right here when I went above the cloud on the daily? That's my long signal. I want to make sure I stay long the bonds as long as I possibly can. Now, I'm not crazy. I don't think they're going to go straight up, right? So when I see them going up like this, and then when they cross back below, now this is my lagging line, right? This right here is my fast line, is my turning line, is the yellow. My purple line is my standard line. So I like bonds, but what happened yesterday? What I have here, you guys are all candlestick gurus. Bearish doji, right? So I've got a potential profit taking or a sell signal. Now notice I slam into the yellow. I close below the yellow. I'm going to go to the purple. The next place I'm probably going to go to is where? I'm probably going to go right here on this support. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for on the bonds. Now, I shrink down what I'm doing here, and I go, okay, the bond market is in a major uptrend, minor downtrend. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the 60-minute candlestick here give me a good signal. Now, did you remember from the example on the cheat sheet, what was it? If I did an hourly, how many days will I probably bounce or reverse to the downside? 3 to 5, right? So today we got our first sell signal on an hourly. Where's my support going to be probably? Where's my support at on the bonds? Probably the top of that cloud, right? I'll probably get there in 3 to 5 days. Now let's take a look. How did the last hourly signal work on bonds? Well, the last hourly signal here on bonds on 410 had me get long here, and it kept me long all the way until I trailed a stop out and I made $1,300 on bonds. Now, I could have got out here at the support, or I could have got out here when I crossed stop up, and I just made some real good money on the bond market. Now, since I'm shifting, and now I've shifted on the daily, and the hourly is to the downside, then I want to short bonds because I've got a 60-minute sell signal, right? Now, if you want a little bit tighter time frame, remember, you can always use this, right? You can always use the time selection chart, where if you're going to do a 5 to 10 minute chart, you're going to have how many hours in the trade? It's going to extend 2 to 4 hours. So your time horizon is going to be 2 to 4 hours. So I'll get back out of that. So if you're a little bit short-term time frame trader, you can see here in the middle of the night about 4 a.m., you got a sell-off on the bonds. Notice how it bounced all the way up into the bottom of the cloud and then sold back off again, bounced back up into resistance, and it continues to go lower. Now, notice right here, because this is really, really important. You see how it closed above the yellow? Next place it's going to go is the purple. Now it's above the purple. Where's the next place it's going to go to? It's going to come back to its home right here, to the bottom of the cloud, and then it's going to sell back off again. Pretty cool, right? So now that you know what all the little pretty lines are, it originally looked like kind of spaghetti soup, right? You're like, God almighty, that chart is busy. But now that you see how what everything is and how it's calculated, it makes total sense, doesn't it? So let's go through a couple of examples. I'm not going to cherry pick anything. You guys throw me out some charts, and I'll show you where they're going and stuff. And, you know, where I think they're going and what you should do with them. Should you be long and short and stuff like that? You start hitting me with some symbols. Now, obviously, you guys are going to go fast, and I only have about a 3-minute window there. Facebook, God almighty, this is crazy. All right, so Facebook is interesting. So can we do class 2 while I do this? Let's do class while we do this at the same time. Is Facebook a long or a short on the daily here? What is it? Is it a long or a short? So Facebook it would be an aggressive short because the price action is below the cloud, right? But would you rather wait for the lagging line to go below the cloud? I personally would. It is an aggressive short with a stop of where? 63.40. So you see the standard line, it'll protect you. And that's also below the yellow line, so that's not too bad. So let's take a look at GD. Let's see here. General Dynamic is a smoking long. Look at the daily, it looks great. Notice how it bounced off here. You had a bearish engulfing pattern. So this is one of the cool things. Since you're a candlestick club, right? You guys are great. You sold off into support at this candlestick. You also had a candlestick combination right here. 1, 2 candlesticks. Bullish engulfing. Look here. Nice little buy signal here. Nice little buy signal here. What do? You bounce up to the yellow. You go above the purple. You're probably going to go to 112. That's a massive uptrend. You buy at support and on the candlestick combination. Can you translate TC2 terms? Nope, unfortunately not. Netflix, NFLX. Let's take a look at the daily on Netflix. Netflix is a short, like crazy. It's below the cloud. Look here, strongest signal known to man on Ichimoku. The lagging line is below the cloud. It's going to get smoked. Now, bullish doji, which means what? What's bullish doji mean? I'm not teaching you something you guys don't already know. Candlestick is going to bounce, right? It closed above the yellow. Where is it going to bounce to? Where is it going to retrace to? Probably the purple, right? Neat, isn't it? It's kind of cool, right? So it's going to bounce. Let's take a look. What's the 60-minute on Google saying, or Netflix? 60-minute signal on Netflix today, last 3 hours, said, giddy up, get long. So you know you're probably good for the next 2 to 5 days. It's probably going to bounce to that 376. And then once it gets up there, you can bing, short it, bottom the head. BIDU. All right, BIDU. Let's take a look here. BIDU is a smoking short, right? It's a really good short. It is below the cloud. It's below the lagging lines below. It has bounced through the yellow into the purple. Really good short material. Looks good. So it's above the cloud on the 60. I would just wait for it to shift back below the 60. And then I would bust it in its head. Notice it's really good on the 60, so I'd just wait for it to come back down below the 60-minute signal there and then jump all over it. SWX, SWK. You guys, when you see the chat, I only have 2 inches, so I can only see so much. So GLD, I apologize if I can't get to everybody. Turning line equal conversion and standard equals base. It could be. Every little platform's a little bit different. GLD is a short. All right, it's in a major uptrend. All right, major uptrend, minor downtrend. Notice how it's stuck in the cloud here. It's below the turning line and the standard line, which means it's probably going to go to the bottom of the cloud around 122. Yep. Z, please. All right. And then HAL and QQQ. Z is a long. It's above the cloud, above both slow and medium lines, the pink and the purple. It's going to go to $100. Let's see here. QQQ. All right. QQQ it would be an aggressive short, right, with a stop of 87.11. The lagging line was below, now it's bouncing, but I wouldn't have any problem shorting the QQQ with a stop of 87.11. IWM. If I haven't hit you, it's not that, if I haven't got your stock or your symbol, it's not that I don't like you, you can see how fast they go by and I can't keep track of all of them. IWM is a short. It's probably going to bounce a little into the purple line at 114, and on the 60-minute, you can see it's almost a buy signal, but it's a better short than it is long. See the little flower in the corner, hit it, video came on track. Okay. ES, let's go ES. At ES, the big market, right? ES sold off. Where did it sell off to right here? Is that support or resistance? Number one, price action is above the cloud. That means it's bullish. You can see that it bounced perfectly right here into the cloud, which is support, bounced up to the purple and the yellow. Now it's above. It's probably going to go back up to 1865 and or 1833, or 1883, I'm sorry. Is the Ichimoku cloud trading strategy, is this? Yes, this is Ichimoku. Cloud percents, turn period, standard, period sound. What numbers do you enter for that? Let me show you what my settings are. My settings for the cloud are this. They're the defaults. Well, I would show you if it let me. Hold on. There you go. Here you go. The inputs are 9, 26, 52, 26, true, 26. 9, 26, 52, 26, true, 26. They're just the standard settings. TF. At TF, take a look here at TF. TF is a short. It is below the cloud. It bounced up to the yellow. Stop would be 1147. You are very welcome. NAVB is a short. It just crossed below the cloud. The lagging line is below. It's going to get smoked to the downside. It's only $1.62 though, so it can only go to zero. That's a little tough. Do you use Ichimoku with other indicators or just purely Ichimoku? I use it with candlestick combinations, the way you guys use candlesticks, and I also use other indicators, yes, but I always verify what I'm doing on the daily and the 60-minute on Ichimoku to keep me on the right side of the market. AAPL. I wouldn't trade without it. Apple is a weird one, okay? So let's kind of break down Apple. It's below the cloud, but look at all of these candlestick formations you're getting, right? And then the lagging line is below the cloud too. Apple's kind of in a weird spot. It acts like it wants to bounce, but it's not. So it's a harder one to call. There's some of them you just have to wait until they get out of their own way. I did not try to watch it. Okay. CMG. I think I already did NAVB. I know I did. CMG is an aggressive short today. Today, aggressive short. Target would be down here at 480. Let's see what that thing looks like on a 60-minute. Look here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hours. It's been a sell signal. Actually, 5. Right out of the gate. After the first 3 hours, CMG was a sell signal. It's going to go down for the next 2 to 5 days. Yep. In day trading, how much data would you need to open to get reliable signals for each of them? Do you use a day or not? It depends on what you're looking at, Simon. GDX is an aggressive short. The price action's below the cloud. Lagging line's not there. 60 minutes of sell, probably going to go to 2250. DO, Diamond Offshore Riggers. Let's take a look at this. It's a long on the 60-minute. Unfortunately, what does that look like to you? If you're into Ichimoku Cloud, that is a beautiful downtrending stock. It's bumping its head on some resistance. If it closes below 47, it's going to get smoked to the downside, right? All right, so let me show you some of this other stuff. So here are some success stories. The course was awesome. I've taken one bond trade and made over $900. Do you think I'm happy? I just entered the bond trade short again and took some profit today. That was from Mary. Here's one from Greg. Dude, thanks. You are like the only reason I've kept in trading, and I know that I'm now profitable. Can't thank you enough. It was really great. I can't wait to take the gold trading class. These are just testimonials, right? Webinar series was great. Experience, very informative, educational, lots of fun. But that's no surprise. All of your courses, I learned a lot of stuff. Cool. So my question to you is, will you be our next success story? So we are inviting you to join us. And how we're going to do this is, first, I have to tell you who this is for and who this is not for. Who this is for. If you're serious about making real money in the markets, this is a good idea for you. If you are looking for a proven system, this is a proven system. It's been back-tested, forward-tested, sideways tested. I use it every day to trade with. You're huge candlestick fans, so it's right up your alley. It complements what you do. It does not replace it. It complements it. If you can follow a simple set of rules and directions, then this is for you. If you know your success is tied to you taking action, it's for you. So let's talk about who this is not for. Who this is not for is for Holy Grail seekers. Not my thing. If you're a Holy Grail seeker, you and I probably won't see eye to eye. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just not a Holy Grail seeker. If you live and die by hopium, if you know, oh my God, this is the next best thing, this is how I'm going to turn my trading around, I'm not a big hopium guy. If you're a guru surfer, if you just jump from guru to guru to guru, settle down. Stephen's a great guy. He teaches some really good information on candlesticks. What he teaches you actually works. Use it, okay? If you can't make a decision, this obviously is not for you. If you like to make things more complicated for no reason, obviously this is not for you. There are three types of people in the world. There are those that make things happen, there are those that watch things happen, and then there are those that say, oh my God, what just happened? So you got to ask yourself, which one are you, right? And there's nothing wrong with any three of the people. You just got to decide which one are you. So here's a fraction of what you'll learn. Number one is the number one best-selling Ichimoku course on the market today. It's going to give you 7 proven setups, the trading rules and the indicator settings, a checklist with cheat sheets, with entries and exits, with stop losses and targets, and I'm going to teach you how to scan the markets with Ichimoku. There's also free tools online. You do not have to have Ichimoku on your charts. There's free resources online that you can use for this. You're never going to guess what to do next. You'll always know exactly what to do. If you don't know what to do next, then you know to do nothing. Alright, so how to avoid the head fakes is what you'll also learn in this. Now, the cool thing about this, I said, there's no such thing. I can't guarantee you anything. I can guarantee you this. You have no risk whatsoever in this investment. If you do not love this course, you do not have to keep it, and I will give you your money back. It's 100% satisfaction, no questions asked guaranteed. If you don't love it, you don't keep it. I don't want your money. I always over-deliver. You will get 10 times the value that you invest in this course. So let's go through what you get with this. So number one, here's where you want to go. HubertSenters.com/cloudy is where you want to go. That's the link. I'm going to give it to you right there. All right. Thank you, Becky. The telephone number is area code 859-963-3445. Now, there's folks right behind me standing by. You'll hear the phone ring because it always does in the background. Area code 859-963-3445. The Ichimoku Cloud Charting Secrets course retails for $197, okay? I'm also going to do a special how to use Ichimoku with candlesticks, right? But like I just showed you earlier, that's a $97 value. I've never done that, but since you guys are so much into candlesticks, I'll show you how I use them in conjunction. I'll just say, look, it's on the cloud, but wait till you get a candlestick buy signal, right? Then I'm going to do, I've never done this in the course, one follow-up webinar and one live trading webinar with you too. So in other words, you can go ahead and watch the recording, and then I'll do one follow-up webinar with you at the end of the month. And then I'll also do one day of live trading with you too, and we'll use Ichimoku the whole time. All right? So that's it. $197, $97, $97, $97. Retail value of $488. You can pick it up for today only. It's the Stephen Bigelow special offer only for $97. And the link is HubertSenters.com/cloudy. Area code 859-963-3445. It's for the first 50 people that call the office or order online. So I'm still going to be here. We're going to do some more chart stuff, okay? So don't leave. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go through charts one by one. I just wanted to take a little break get me a little drink of water real quick, make you a special offer. Hopefully you enjoyed what you've already seen, and I'm going to stay here and answer the rest of your questions, all right? Like I said, you have absolutely no risk whatsoever. Am I still part of Trade the Markets? I'm still a shareholder at Trade the Markets. I just don't provide content over there anymore. But I'm still a shareholder. Will King be teaching the course? No, this is my course. I actually had the first Ichimoku course in the United States and taught it. My course is the #1 selling Ichimoku course in the United States. I can't say Japan because they've sold that 7 years back to back. They've had that book in Japan. That's a tough one to beat, but it's kind of hard if you can't translate Japanese. When does it happen? It's already pre-recorded. You're going to get the pre-recorded course that I've already taught, and then you get to go through that. And that goes through everything that you need to know about Ichimoku, and then we also have some live trading in there. And then at the end of the month, we're going to send you an alert saying, hey, you've got a special follow-up webinar. If you have any questions, you can come to that. And then also at the end of the month, we'll do 1 day of live trading, okay? All right, now, this could be seriously dangerous, right? Has anybody ever took my Ichimoku course in here? No. Yes. How long is your course? I don't remember how long it is. Yes, it was great. Yes, it was. So, Daniel, Seth, Greg, I can see some of you guys in here. If you took it, will you tell people if you liked it or didn't like it? I mean, you'd be totally honest. Obviously, I can't load that many people in here. So if you guys liked it, just let me know. I don't remember do you guys remember how long the course was? I forget how long it was. I don't remember exactly how long it was. Using Ichimoku for the 30 run, I got long but got stopped out on a big down day. Did I make a mistake on direction? No, they just reversed today, Reno. They just reversed on you today is all. Just on bonds, make sure you're using a tight stop loss. It happens every now and then bonds when they switch back on that. It just takes you a little while to adjust. Yes, it was fantastic. Thank you. How long is the course? I don't remember how long the course is, to tell you the truth. The live trading will be at the end of April or May. Probably end of April. End of April. How does it work on Forex? It's worked on 29 currencies over the past 10 years. It's been profitable. Anyone making any money? Anyone making any money? Yes. It's about 2.5 hours long, Daniel says. So Daniel's taking it, so he knows. Different from Mother of All Bubbles. Yeah. Different from Mother of All Bubbles. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I teach in both courses, Mother of All Bubbles and Ichimoku, obviously are going to have a little crossover. Does it work on crude oil? It works really good on crude oil. Let's do this. I will exit out of here. Remember, first 50 and then the offer's gone, okay? So what I'm going to do is there's a little program here which I can do a cool thing with. Check this out. I'm going to move this up, and then this will be my trade station below. So let's take a look at crude oil. At CL, everybody see the link right here? It says hubertsenters.com/cloudy. You see that? I'm going to shrink this. Hold on, let me get so I can see everybody's questions. I want to make sure I answer every single one that I can. Okay. All right. Works really good on biotech. So here's crude oil at CL. So on the daily here on crude oil at CL, what am I doing wrong? Oh, it is daily. All right. So crude oil is a long. Now notice, you got to use a little bit of common sense. Here we have, what do we got? Bearish doji, right? And we're into a resistance area, but it's still a long on the daily. If it was to pull back to 101.53, you'd be a buyer, but you need to wait. Look here. It's probably going to pull back to the yellow line and give you a chance. But you can see you're into resistance and you got a bearish doji there too. I'm still trying to learn candlesticks. Hope this comes around in a few months. Bill SH, if you're still learning candlesticks, focus on that really good. That's a really good thing. Stick with Steven. He is the best guy in the world on candlesticks. So stick with his stuff. It's really, really good. Give me a biotech stock and I'll give it to you. I'll show you what it looks like. Here's Verizon on the daily. Verizon's been a little choppy. I would say it's a better short than it is long, but right now it's in transition. ICPT. All right, so ICPT is a biotech that is below the cloud. The lagging line is also below. This thing is going to get smoked to the downside. Notice that it's crossed below. It's going to go back down here to 200 and then 100. Now, take a look at the 60-minute. The 60-minute, well, here's a good question for you, if you think it works or not. Let me ask you, how important would it have been for you to have been short this biotech at when it crossed below the lagging, when it crossed below? I don't know. If you're interested in shorting that at 425, it probably didn't do too bad. Nice little trade. Price line, PCLN. Price line on the daily is it's an aggressive sell because the price action's below the cloud, right? Lagging line's still up. It's in between. When it gets in between the yellow and the purple, it's a little dangerous. I would say it's probably going to bounce to 1238. If it gets up there to this resistance area, I would short it again. See how the candlestick combinations had you a nice little bounce? You guys see how powerful it is to use both candlesticks and Ichimoku together? They were designed to actually work together. So don't use bar charts on these things. It's worthless. You want to make sure that you use, notice here, check this out on price line. Notice how this slammed into support, and you had this bullish doji and this bullish hammer right here, right? And it just catapulted out of there. That's just cool, isn't it? That's just neat. I love it. BIIB. All right, BIIB. Let's take a look here. So aggressive sell. Notice how the turning line is just kind of holding its head under a little water here. You got a bullish hammer here. It's probably going to bounce a little bit, but probably not too much because it acts really, really bad. I don't think it's going to get to 315, but if it did, I would short it up there. Do you use Ichimoku and the squeeze together? You can definitely use those two together, yes. Isn't ICPT already oversold for a bounce? Good question. Let's take a look at that. ICPT. So on the daily, it says it's going to continue to go lower. Let's see what it says on the hourly. On the hourly, it goes, nope, it's still going lower, okay? And then if you go on the 10-minute, the 10-minute went at the end of the day for a sell signal to the downside, right? Would probably want 997. I could sell this for 997, no problem. Please look at IYT. IYT. Let's take a look at that. All right, IYT here on a daily. I can hear the phone. Hey, guys, I really appreciate all the orders. Really, from the bottom of my heart, I do. There are 3 people behind me right now. I don't know if you can hear them. They're all talking to all of you placing your orders. I really do appreciate it, and I hear the phone ringing off the hook, too. So if you can't get through, just keep calling and leave a voicemail message, and I'll call you right back. There's 3 of them right behind me right now. IYT is along on the daily. It's above both the turning and the standard line. Ooh, look at here. Just Thursday, you had a massive buy signal on the hour. It's probably going to go to a 138. SWK on the daily here. SWK is it's a little too sideways for my taste, but it is above the cloud, and the lagging line's above the cloud. You got a little resistance here. It needs to chew through 82. But the hourly says it's good, so I can't fight the hourly. It's probably going to go to 85. Amazon, AMZN. Just keep hitting me with stocks. I'm not being rude. I can just only cover so many at a time, and you guys keep hammering me with them. Amazon is a sell, but look, you got a bullish doji. What's a bullish doji? You guys tell me. You guys are the experts on that. It means I'm going to bounce, right? Yeah. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to bounce through the yellow, probably to the purple. When I get to the purple, I'm going to bop it right in the head, right? The hourly is not a buy signal yet, but it's getting close. I've already did SanDisk. Oh my goodness. You guys are amazing. SINA. SINA is a sell signal. It's going to bounce to 60.40. When it bounces there, short the heck out of it for a target below 45. DIS. Let me ask you something. If just with the training that I gave you today, do you think you can handle knowing, not perfectly, but do you get a good handle of which way whatever you're trading should be going? Do you see how it kind of give you a little bit of an unfair advantage going, oh, that totally makes sense. This thing's in an up move. I know where my support is. I know where my bounce is going to be. I know where, if it breaks my support, I know that no matter if I love Disney, if it breaks 75, I have to short it. All right? It's pretty cool, right? Can I get it on Ninja? Yes. Here's the deal. I'm not selling the indicator at all. It's on almost every platform out there. All I'm doing is I'm offering you an opportunity to learn how to use it. It's already on your platform. It's like candlesticks. Candlesticks are on every platform. Ichimoku is on almost every platform out there. Thinkorswim have Ichimoku? Yes. Ichimoku is on Thinkorswim. It's under your settings tab. It's also Ninja. You have to download it from a third-party forum, but it's totally free. It won't cost you a dime. Yeah, it's awesome. Do you get the candlestick, bullish, and bearish indicators? No, if you want indicators, download the indicators from Steven's forum or buy them from Steven. These are just my own individual personal ones. His are way better than mine anyway. DSCO, and I know you guys have indicator bundles and stuff at Bigelow's place, so buy his stuff on that. DSCO. DSCO on a daily is a massive short. It's a dollar stock. I can't help you on that. Sorry. Anything below $5 I don't really like helping with because it's just, they're so manipulated. It looks lower though. It probably goes to $1.50. Sorry about that. GS. And not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just there's so many people that will manipulate a low dollar stock. Goldman Sachs is a short. Check this out. This is a great education piece right here. So we knew Goldman Sachs was a short because it was below the cloud and the lagging line's below the cloud. What do we got going on right here? What are these little suckers right here? You guys are candlestick gurus. What is this? Candlestick formation of what? Bullish dojis, right? Probably. That's what they look like. Then it bounces and it goes to the yellow. After it gets through the yellow, where's it going to go to? Purple. And now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for any reason to short this thing, right? Now, let's go check the hourly. Is the hourly a short? Not yet. But as soon as Goldman Sachs hourly gets back down here to about $154, I'm going to just short the heck out of it. Is the course similar to what was included in my favorite trades? Yes, Paul, it is. SLV. SLV is a short. It's below the cloud, and the lagging line is below the cloud. It looks like it's a great short, but it's going to bounce to 1906. The hourly is also a good sell signal. SODA. Chris, sorry about that. I've seen that thing fly by a couple times there, and I just couldn't catch it. Soda is, let's take a look at soda. So soda's a downtrend, right? It's below the cloud, so we got to short that thing. Notice that it tried, right? It gave it the old college try. Check this out. Perfect example again. So it got into the cloud. You see all of this little mess right here with all these bearish dojis and topping candlestick formations. Then it rolled back over, went below the yellow, went below the purple. Now it's going to go back below. It's probably going to hit $35 again. Yep. UGAZ. UGAZ. Let's take a look here on the daily. UGAZ is a short. I would short it into the resistance here at 29.14, and I'd use a stop loss of top of the cloud. I'd just give it right there, about 31.88. HAL. HAL on a daily is a smoking long. This is a beautiful stock. It is above the cloud. It is above the turning line. It is above the standard line. It looks amazing. I just get you along some of that. The hourly went. Anybody remember when the hourly signals? How many days is it going to bounce for you? When you get an hourly signal, what's it mean? 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually get 4 days, and then it'll come back and revisit that cloud. Here's what I mean by that. So when you get an hourly signal, looky here. Here's an hourly signal right back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll probably go 5 days, and then it'll start working its way back to the cloud. Not always, but it's kind of just got a little rhythm where it'll go above the cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dink. It's usually 2 to 5 days. 2 to 5 days. Google, G-O-O-G. All right. So Google had some earnings that the street didn't really love, right? Notice that Google's been a short for several days, and the lagging line has been below the cloud too. So hours and hours and hours ago, before the earnings came out, you can see that Google was a short back here. It sold off, boom, bounced down, sold off, boom, bounced its head again. Now, there's two different types of shares in Google now, so make sure you know which one you got. You know, the C's or the others, because that's going to be important. FAZ on a daily chart is a smoking short. It's a short on the 60-minute too. Ford's probably going to go to about $19. XLU. XLU is a beautiful long. Buy it on a small pullback here to 40.202, and your stop loss would be 41.48. Does everybody see where I'm getting that from? It's pulling back a little bit. It's probably going to pull back to 42.02, and you're going to use this one, 41.48, as your stop loss. 6E. What is that? 6E. I think I have to do cash on 6E. Give me the translation for 6E. That's just the Japanese yen, right? I'm gonna go currency future on you at Japanese yen. Japanese yen is above the cloud. It's not the best trading instrument right now in the world. The Japanese yen. It's a little sideways. I would go at British pound is what I'd do. It's a little bit better trending right now, and it's got a little giddy up in its step more than the Japanese yen does. But yeah, AIG is a little sideways for my taste, but it is a long, decent trade. It's above the cloud, and the lagging line's above, and the 60-minute as of Thursday at the close had a good buy signal. MSFT. On the trade setup here, Microsoft. Looking great. It's above the cloud. It's above, now it did just jump up above the yellow and the purple, so it looks like it could potentially rise back up to $42. I did Ford. Course, KORS. Man, they just keep flying by. Coors, good little bullish stock. Now notice, we're hugging around the bottom of the cloud here, so it's in transition. It is above the yellow, which means it'll probably go to the purple. On KORS, I would just stand aside and just let it trade for a few days. It's trying to figure out if it's going to drop through the cloud or if it's going to climb through the cloud. So just leave it alone for a little bit. This is one of those situations where on the cloud, it's going, look, this is sketchy. Just leave it alone. So it's probably going to go to the purple. Wait until it either gets 1 to 3 days above the cloud or 1 to 3 days below the cloud. It'll just save you a lot of money. TSLA. TSLA is an aggressive short because you've got 3 to 4 bars below the cloud. Remember, this is a faster signal. I would prefer if you could get the lagging line down there below you too, but that's going to take a while. Let's see what the 60-minute says about Tesla. Well, the 60-minute says, well, you should have been short Tesla back here. Right? Now notice, after it gets below the cloud, how many days does it go down before it bounces again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. This one went almost 9 days before it came back to the cloud. But you're almost guaranteed 2 to 5. And then also it bounced in the first 3 there too. CREE, great little light bulbs. I've got about a billion of them in the house here. CREE on a daily is a long on the 60-minute, I'm sorry. On a daily, it's a short. On the daily, it might bounce to 58, but the daily is a massive short. You're going to have a little bit of bounce, maybe to 58.11, and it's going to roll back over and by. Can you tell us about thin clouds and thick clouds? Yes, let's take a look at Netflix. NFLX. So, body of water. A thin cloud is easier to get through. Like this price action here, a thin cloud is easier to get through. A thicker cloud is harder to get through. Now, they can both be, penetrated and gone through, but when you look at it right here, you see this thick cloud right here? That's going to support it like a nice little puffy marshmallow, and it bounces out of there like a nice little trampoline. When it's a thin cloud, it just makes it really easier for it to get back through. See, it cuts back through it, and you just gotta watch them. Let's see if we can get another one here, like maybe GOOGC. Let me see. Let's do price line PCL. Price line. So you see price line right here? It was easy to get through that because that cloud is so thin. This one was harder to get through. See that? So that's what you look out for. What is the indicator called? It's called Ichimoku. Ichimoku is what it's called. Check out this one, Hubert, at NK. Let's take a look at the Nikkei. The Nikkei is a sell signal. It is a sell right here with a tight stop loss, probably going back down to 14,000. TSL, discuss cloud color. I discussed cloud color in the course, but really all you have to know is TSLA is a short. It's below the cloud. So you see this red cloud? This is forecasting bad things to come for TSL or for TSL. Okay, because this cloud is red and the price action is below it. This is a future projection for TSL telling you it's going to go lower. It's projecting the price going forward in the down direction. Pronounce Ichimoku. Pronounce Ichimoku. Are you serious? Ichimoku. Ichimoku. You want me to put... Are you messing with me, Wild Bill? Ichimoku. Ichimoku. For calculating red, green, and blue lines, are the high-lows based upon the standard market hours or the pre-bar? It depends on your chart. Probably. Oh, do you want me to spell Ichimoku? I can spell Ichimoku. Here's how you spell it. You spell it. It's spelled Ichimoku. There you go. There's Ichimoku. All right. Let me take just 2 seconds here. Grab a drink of water. Depends on the chart. So if you do an at YM, that's going to be 24 hours. If you do at YM.D, that's going to be day session. That's what I mean. Depends on your chart vendor, too. Some of them do different weird things. Coffee futures at KC. Coffee. I've been killing it in the coffee market lately. Which main? Let me give you a little test here. My favorite trades course. My favorite trades course or Ichimoku course. Simon, they're both really good courses. They're both really good. I would probably start with Ichimoku and then go to my favorite trades. But they're both really good courses. Which way do you think I've been focusing on coffee looking at this chart? Which books on Ichimoku do you recommend? I've read about a dozen of them. There's only 2 decent ones. All the rest of them are just not great. I shouldn't say that, but they're just not. See, I've been focusing more on the long side of coffee here. And today it had a massive move. Now, once I got this bearish candlestick program here, what do you think I went and did in coffee? I got the heck out of coffee. I rode it from here to here, jumped out, and then it had a good long signal today. Having trouble getting it on TradeStation, tried to reference more bars than allowed on the current bars to the right. SOC man, you're doing it wrong, SOC man. You broke TradeStation. You broke TradeStation. Here's what you're doing wrong, okay? So do this right here. Go right click, go format window, and under general tab, you see where it says spaces to the right? What does yours say? I bet it doesn't say 30. I bet it says 5. Change that to 30, and then reapply your indicator. It'll work like gangbusters, brother. It'll work like gangbusters. All it is you just don't have your chart set up the right way, and nobody at TradeStation tells you that, and then they throw out this big old signal going, hey, doofus, you tried to reference more bars than allowed. And really all you got to do is just make it so that you've got some space here to the right. So here's how you do that. Right-click on your chart, go Format Window, go to the General tab, go to Spaces on the right, make it 30. And it'll work for you. Guarantee it. Let's see here. What's the scanning info in your course? So for TradeStation, I actually can do this right here. Now, if you're not a TradeStation user, you can't do this. But can you see this right here? Can you see this where it says, ooh, look at this, pretty. Now, not everybody can do this. TradeStation users can do it, right? Tosset has understudies, but what's this? I can go price location, and I can go, it'll scan for anything that's new above or below the cloud for me. So I'll be like, okay, oh, look here. New below, AMD is newly below the cloud. Bing! Winner. How cool is that? Now, the cool thing is, if you don't have TradeStation in the course, I show you a free resource that you can actually just scan online for it, and you can do it. It's not as good as TradeStation, but it's close, and you can just do that. So that's new above or below. Oh, new above. Look here, GE, new above the cloud. That's important stuff, right? What about MT4? MT4 should have Ichimoku. I wouldn't know why it wouldn't have it. I don't know that to be a fact though. FXCM has it also. There you go. Where in the course? Where in the course? On how to scan, go to hubertsenters.com/cloudy. /cloudy. I guess that's where you go, right? Let me know if that link works. There you go. Steven hooked us up. Shorter time precedes longer time frames, so do you always go in the same? Shorter term, so I look at the daily and the 60 first, Tom, and then I'll let the 10-minute waffle me around a little bit. Can we do a follow-up webinar and live trading a few months down the line in case we can't complete the course? Jay, yes, you just call the office or email us, say you're traveling or whatever. We'll work around your schedule. It's not a big deal. Business has my name on it the same way Stevens has his name on it. I'm not going anywhere. Is it pre-recorded 101 mailed to me on a DVD? No. As soon as you pay for the course, you'll then be able to watch it online. It's an online course. Is this on TC2000? Joe, I don't know, Joe. I don't know if it's on TC2000 or not. Does this work effectively on a 1 or a 5 minute chart? Well, let's do this. You tell me what symbol, and I'll put it on a 1 or a 5 minute chart for you, and you can make that call. Amazon, AMZN. Let's start with a 5. Well, first, let's start with the daily, right? The daily's in the down, but it's above the yellow. Let's take a look at the 60 for you real quick. Amazon in the 60 is almost a buy. So let's go down here to the 10 minute, and let's change it to a 5. So here's a 5. You tell me, and I'm going to crunch it up so you can see some of the data. Can you see the 5 minute chart? You happy with it? So I'm going to change it. What was the other time frame that you wanted? A 5 minute and what else? A 1 minute? Let's do a 1 minute. 1 minute's short. Here's a 1 minute. You tell me. That's kind of busy for me, but there you go. Yes, it's on TC2000 version 12. There you go. Candlestick.com. Yes, it's on TC2000. Oh, there you go. Awesome. Where bin? There you go. There's your link. I'm going to back this out of here and change this back to a 10 minute since you broke my chart now. How about a trip? There you go. Thank you for it. You're very welcome. GM. All right. GM is a short, but it's below the turning and the standard. Probably going to bounce to the top of the cloud. 60 minutes of buy. Probably going to go to about 35.50. All right. Can I have that on IB? I don't think IB has it. CRK is a, let's see here. CRK is a major long. It's above everything. It's been in an hourly signal since 411. It's a stud. You're just going to have to buy it somewhere. It's a stud. It continues to go up, right? It's crossing on the 10 minute, the 60, the daily. It looks really, really good. Does the cloud work on tick charts? Yeah, it works on tick charts. Yeah. MU, several of us want to see. Oh, MU. Here you go. MU on a daily is a aggressive sell, but look, it's worked its way back up, so I would leave this one alone for 3 or 4 days. Leave it alone. Let's look at it on the 60. On the 60, it's a buy. 60, it's a buy. Daily, it's a kind of don't touch me right now, but yeah. All right, Ford. I thought I already did Ford. Did I already do Ford? I already did Ford, I thought. Let's see. Ford is it's a long, but man, it's a weird looking long. It's above the turning and the standard line. The lagging is above that. It'll probably go to 1650. MANH. Oh, right. MANH. Oh, good little. Watch this. This is a good lesson. This is called an uppercut or a lagging line hook. Pay attention to this because I cover this in the course. You see where this thing looks like it's going to just dive bomb lower? You see where you start getting some candlestick combinations, formations going bounce imminent, warning, danger, Will Robinson, about to rip your head off. And then it bounces above the yellow. You see how the lagging line never really touched the cloud or crossed above it or below it? Then it starts hooking. This thing will probably go like a rocket to 36.18. So be careful. So if the daily is below the cloud, but the 60 minute is above the cloud, do you generally go long? Generally, yes. Like this is an aggressive short. I like to wait for the lagging line to get below, and then I can really stay focused on the overall trend. So yeah. Do you wait 3 bars on the 60? I do not. That's a great question, Sam. Do you wait 3 bars on the 60 minute as well? Not usually. Not usually. TRIP. On a daily is a lagging line hook again, right? So be careful with it. It might bounce to 92.73. All right, here is your offer slide one more time, and then I'm going to go snuggle with my kids. HubertSenters.com/cloudy, area code 859-963-3445. Stephen Bigelow special offer discount, $97. I'm going to do a special Ichimoku with candlesticks, right? I'm going to do 1 follow-up webinar and 1 day of live trading at the end of the month with you. I'm going to throw it in as bonus. Because I like Stevie. He's a great guy. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, I'll do one more for you. AFL? You got your links, you got your numbers. What is that? ASL? ASL. ASL. If I missed your symbol, I wasn't trying to be mean about it or anything. They just come so fast. AFL is a leave me alone. It's a short though. It's a better short than long. You'd short it at 63.22. Stop at 64. It'll probably go to 61. What are the parameters for setting it up on Ninja? Let's see here. For Ninja, setting it up, if you download it for a forum, then the parameters you'll want to follow is this right here. The inputs would be 9, 26, 52, 26, true, 26. See how they got these weird names? These are Japanese names. I can't pronounce them, so I make a turning line, standard line, is what I call them. All right, so regardless, if you invested in your future and in your trading, regardless, I really appreciate you guys letting me come by. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you saw the value in this. Steven, I appreciate you letting me come by. How long are the links to the paid webinar good for? Until I die, Steve, C, or until you die? As long as I pay my hosting bill, they'll be up there. So yeah, I have an indicator with terms and colors used in the webinar. If anyone wants, there you go. All right, no sound all of a sudden. All right, good luck. Hope it helps. I'll see you guys on the next webinar. There's your link, and I'll see you guys on the trading videos on the next webinar.
Thank you, Hubert, so much for tonight. Everybody, y'all have a nice night and a wonderful Easter weekend, and we'll see you in the chat rooms.